Hello all, good evening, welcome, happy spring. Thank you for coming out and supporting our young, aspiring musicians. And we're very pleased to share some wonderful music with you tonight with the three ensembles that you'll hear, excuse me. My name is Craig Robbins, and in my day-to-day capacity, I serve as the middle school band director down the road at Gibbons. Many of you know that, but welcome if you don't know me. So glad to have you in attendance tonight. The first ensemble in front of you is the Gibbons Middle School Jazz Band. This is a group of 7th and 8th graders that meet 2 days a week. We have 3 tunes that we've been working on in the past few months or so, and we're excited to share them with you. We have a rock tune, a Latin tune, and then a good one in a swing style. And we're very pleased to get to share our concert with a wonderful, talented, and colleague of Mr. Doyle and myself. A gentleman named Peter DeSilva is with us. So this afternoon, as many of you know, the kids joined us following the school day. Mr. DeSilva came out. Each of the ensembles worked with him for about 30 minutes or so, 30, 40 minutes. We broke bread together and we shared some food. And thank you to the Cormier family who was with us this early evening to help facilitate dinner. Oh, you don't have to laugh about it. It's great. Look, so you got to mention. And to our families that brought some snacks and goodies for our reception after, we are most grateful to you as well. So without further ado, would you please join me in welcoming the Gibbons Middle School Jazz Band and our guest artist, Mr. Peter DeSilva. All right. On that tune, we featured a trumpet solo with that. That is Ion on the trumpet. Round of applause for him again. Making his no, we did in the fall. We did in the winter though, right? You soloed. Yeah. A man of many talents. I think he's playing 4 instruments with us this year. Some clarinet and bassoon and trumpet. And tonight on tenor saxophone, that was our friend Grady. And Mr. De Silva on the alto, he's now moving over to tenor. The next work we're going to share is a tune first penned by Irving Berlin, and this is an arrangement by a gentleman named Michael Sweeney. This is How Deep is the Ocean? How High is the Sky? Well, thank you once more again. How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky? And you heard from our friend Robert on tenor, again, as well as Mr. De Silva. A round of applause for both of them, please. You also heard a trumpet solo from our friend Neil back there. Yeah, Neil? I do also want to give a shout out to our friends here in the rhythm section, laying down some fantastic time. That's our buddy Gotham on guitar. Yeah. It's our friends Ella and Julian switching between keyboard, bass, and piano parts. And another part of the heartbeat of the band, keeping us swinging, keeping us moving. On the first tune you heard her, that's Aria on drums, as well as Sahith now sitting in the kit. Our third and final selection of the middle school set is a Neil Hefti tune entitled Flight of the Foo Birds, and we do hope you enjoy it. It dawned on me, because I know, I'm sure we have some of the parents, and I want to acknowledge them, because they've been working hard on these solos. You're going to hear a solo from Neil once more, and you're also going to hear an alto saxophone solo from my friend Ishvith. One, two, three. So we will have a brief transition to our next ensemble, the Repertoire Jazz Ensemble. So give us just a moment, we'll make a switch, and we'll be right back with you.
Here we go. 1, 2, Thank you all so much. That's How It's Done by Eric Sherbert. And you heard Sahana on an alto solo, Aiden on a trombone solo, but then everyone got into the pool. Raph on bass, Mr. Robbins on his trumpet, and Anish joined on alto at the end there. We had a great time on that one. Our next tune, we're going to bring Mr. De Silva back to join us for a West Coast inspired jazz tune in the style of Stan Getz. This is Bob Turner's Just Plain Cool. Yeah. I'm just need to sing any other record. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2.
repertoire jazz, and they're about to lead, and we'll have our final of the night, Festival Jazz Ensemble. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You might have recognized that tune. That was All the Things You Are, a classic Hammerstein and Kern standard from the Great American Songbook, but done in a sort of Latin setting by Mike Tomaro. You heard solos from Cole on tenor and Ben on trombone, Akshat on alto, before Mr. De Silva also joined us for an alto saxophone solo. Our next tune, we're taking an opportunity to feature Akshat, our lead alto saxophone player. He's a very fine musician, and this year, for the second year, was part of the All-State Jazz Ensemble, and was actually the lead alto in that group this year. We're really proud of the work he put in to get there. And this is an old Duke Ellington tune, which is a lovely little number called Sultry Sunset. Here we go. Thank you all so much. Let's hear another round of applause for Akshat. That was great. And before we close things out with our last number, I'd like to make sure I thank all the people who make this possible, our administration across the board here in Westborough, from the superintendent through our director of fine arts to the building level principals, assistant principals. We have so much support in this community from an administration standpoint, and it's why it's possible for us to do the sort of things that we're able to do. Also, it wouldn't be possible without viewers like you, to borrow a term from PBS. Without your support, getting kids to lessons, listening to the kids practicing, encourage them even when you had a long day at work and you'd rather not hear the same scales over and over again. But, you know, keeping on with the support so they stay in the arts. It's without that kind of community yearning for this sort of stuff, we couldn't do that here. So thank you for that. I'd like to thank my colleague, Mr. Robbins, for being someone that's so fun to work with every day and for helping to kind of make this whole thing happen, digging into his black book and reaching out to Mr. De Silva. Thank you to Mr. De Silva for joining us. And without further ado, we're going to close things out with one more chance to feature him as a soloist on an old Herbie Hancock tune set for big band here. This is Tell Me a Bedtime Story. It's not going to start like a bedtime story. This is not a lullaby, but I hope you'll enjoy it. Here we go. One, two, three. Rude. Take it over, my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. reception with some light refreshments. Thank you all so much.